despite the fear and the concern from Hamas operatives, people are going out in the street, and not in one place. We have seen it yesterday, maybe in 6 or 7 locations around the Gaza Strip. It's imminent. We have started the ground operation. The IDF has been entering into positions inside the Gaza Strip, beyond the perimeter, and just a few hours ago, our cabinet, convened in order to approve the next moves by the IDF. Now, when it comes to the Trump administration, I think that we see more eye to eye. We are seeing a concerted effort to put military pressure by Israel in Gaza and by the United States on the Houthis in Yemen.
You also refer to certain videos that are going viral over the last 24 hours, and those are videos of people in Gaza who are coming out and chanting slogans of Hamas out. What do we make of what's happening there?
Well, you have to be very courageous to demonstrate against Hamas, because we have seen what terrible deeds Hamas have been doing in the open to people that were daring to criticize them, shooting them in the legs, killing them, torturing them, putting them in dungeons. So the fact that the frustration is mounting creates a situation that, despite the fear and the concern from Hamas operatives, people are going out in the street, and not in one place. We have seen it yesterday, maybe in 6 or 7 locations around the Gaza Strip. We have started the ground operation. The IDF has been entering into positions inside the Gaza Strip, beyond the perimeter, and just a few hours ago, our cabinet, convened in order to approve the next moves by the IDF.
All right. So, and is there any kind of clarity in terms of American support for this ground invasion? We've seen, of course, certain voices coming in from America. Is there a difference in approach in how President Biden and President Trump are approaching this issue?
Yes, there has been a difference. We've been managing, we work with any American administration, and we managed to work with President Biden and many presidents before him. And of course, we are working also with the Trump administration. I think the difference is that with the Biden administration, there were some strings attached to their support. At some points when we saw things differently, they withheld some of the military shipments to Israel. We eventually managed to bridge most of the gaps, but there's no doubt that this created a lot of pressure on us and made us be much more slow when it comes to taking steps in the Gaza Strip. And one example was the Rafah operation. The Biden administration, pressed us not to go for Rafah. They warned that there are going to be tens of thousands of casualties. Eventually, there were almost no civilian casualties. And we took Rafah, and we took the border between Gaza and Egypt, which was essential in order to serve our interest. And eventually, thanks to that operation, we managed to eliminate Yahya Sinwar. So sometimes when it comes to friends, you have to know how to deal with your differences, but there is no replacement for the authority of the democratically elected government of Israel to take the right steps to defend the state of Israel. Now, when it comes to the Trump administration, I think that we see more eye to eye. We are seeing a concerted effort to put military pressure by Israel in Gaza and by the United States on the Houthis in Yemen. I think that there is also the issue of Iran, and although the Trump administration would like to refrain from taking military action and offered the Ayatollah's regime a path out of their nuclear weapon program. We yet have to see what's going to happen.
Right. We've seen President Trump talking about turning Gaza into Riviera. He's compared to the French Riviera. We've even seen videos come out on his Truth Social. Do you think he's being serious when he makes that, or is that just a positioning on his part?
Look, I think that, you have to read into the new administration's approach with a new prism. I think that the new American administration has a different direction, a different idea. They believe that the United States should, adjust itself to the new international arena, stop thinking in the ways that it thought in the past. And this is also true for the Middle East. At the end of the day, you cannot be in a situation in which, after rejecting multiple peace offers by the State of Israel and the international community, after doing the most terrible set of crimes that humanity could ever imagine against the State of Israel, that we can just go back to normal. No, it cannot happen. Something has to change. I think it is our duty to think with new ideas, to introduce new ideas. It is important that also our neighbors, especially those that are interested in engaging with us and having peace with us, put pressure on the Palestinians, especially on Hamas and the other terrorist organizations, and delegitimize them. And if that happens, then there is a chance that there will be a brighter future for Gaza, because at the end of the day, look, it is true that Gaza sits at the shore of the Mediterranean. It's a beautiful place. We left it back in 2005. They could have developed it to be, to look exactly like the United Arab Emirates. But instead, they are opting for just concentrating in destroying the State of Israel. And that is detrimental for them. So we have to think in new ways. I think it is possible to create a good life for the people of the Gaza Strip. And we are interested in that.